Well, that is some hot weather outside, isn't it? I got a message from a lady down in Limerick a few days ago, and she asked me would I do a video on dentures. Now, she explained her situation, which is incredibly common. I get messages with these sorts of stories all the time. People explaining that they're absolutely terrified that with the condition of their mouth, they're so embarrassed about it that they're avoiding social situations, they're avoiding interactions with other people, they're staying away from things, really impacting their life day to day, and it can really affect you and how you're feeling about yourself, and therefore potentially your mental health as well. She was mentioning she's even embarrassed to show a dentist for a dentist to look inside the mouth, and that is so common. Honest to goodness, we hear that all the time. The good thing about that, I suppose, right, once you find the right person you know that is not going to comment negatively or judge, that they're just seeing it as a starting point for moving forward. Once you find that dentist, that's the most important thing, really, because that moment that you're fearing is done and dusted on the first day, and then you're leaving with a plan for moving forward and getting things in order, right? So I understand how daunting that can be and how people can be locked in this sort of vicious cycle. But getting in for that first visit breaks that cycle and gets everything back in control. Okay, so you can totally do this. Now, she's been told she needs dentures. She's 42, which, as she mentions herself, can feel very young to be wearing dentures. Not in a position to pay for lots of implant work at the moment. So she's obviously concerned about the process of wearing dentures. Again, really common. Now, dentures have their limitations. Yes, they take a lot of getting used to. It's not the nicest to have to wear something in the mouth like that and to have something that comes in and out, Like, we do typically associate them with older people. Of course, that's the nature of it. But they can play such a huge role in that rehabilitation of the mouth and restoring the smile, Like, appearance wise, visually wise, they can actually look really good. And if you're at the moment walking around embarrassed to smile to show your teeth, it's immediately going to be hugely better than what you have at the moment. You're immediately going to feel better about yourself. Usually we would organise things that we have what we call an immediate denture made and ready to be fitted on the same day as the teeth come out. So you're never having to walk out of here with no teeth or no front teeth or anything like that, right? You'll always have something. Now, after teeth are removed, the bone, the gum will take some time to heal. It'll gradually change shape, shrink back a little bit. So the fit of that first denture is never ideal, right? So that first 3-4 months is a real challenging time, but it's a means to an end, and the longer term result can be really good, can be good functionally, can look fantastic. Now, functionally, they're not as good, as effective as dental implants or anything that's fixed. That's fine. But usually, functionally, they're a lot better than what people can be walking around with if you've got dental phobia and you've avoided things and the teeth have deteriorated. So, again, it's all about improvement, going in the right direction, part of that journey. At the start, the mouth is so sensitive, I suppose, isn't it? It's got lots of nerves and lots of sensation, and any change like that at the beginning is going to be a real shock to the system, okay? But at the same time, the mouth is incredibly good and effective at getting used to things. and adapting to things quickly. You know, if any of you ever had braces or you know, a night guard or a splint or a removable appliance when they were a child, any of those little things, at the start you think, what the hell, how am I going to get used to this? But after a few weeks of using it and wearing it, you do get used to it. And it's the same with dentures. So you'll get there. They have a huge role to play. It doesn't necessarily mean you'll have to wear dentures for the rest of your life. And you may well be in a position at a later stage where you can revisit the idea of implants. But it sounds like, compared to what you're living with at the moment, dentures are the right step forward for you. And they can still be a huge part of people feeling better about themselves, of healing. In relation to your age, I have lots of patients, loads in their 40s who are wearing dentures. I have quite a lot in their 30s who are wearing dentures, and I even have patients in their 20s who are wearing dentures. Okay, so you're not alone. People don't go around talking about it or parading about it or telling you about their dentures socially, but there are lots of people who you're probably interacting with who are wearing partial dentures that you wouldn't even realise. Okay, so you're not alone, and yeah, just takes a bit of a period, get your head around it, but first step, getting in the door, booking that appointment, making that start. Sorry for the long video, but quite a lot to cover there. Any questions, give us a shout. And yeah, if you're going to Oasis at the weekend, I'm genuinely delighted for you. Have a brilliant time.